Hello there, good morning. Welcome back to Prime Morning. Still news flash here. We're going to get into discussion of some of the issues you saw in the news brought to you by Sheila. Very, very worrying development in Tamale with the clashes between the police and some students of Tamale Technical University. We'll try and engage them on the show today to understand why they decided to bend ties and protest on their campus. And, exchange. We saw some very disturbing visuals from Tamale between the students and police. We'll try and engage the students, engage the police, and get a sense of what exactly is happening on campus at the moment. Well, we're going to start with the newspapers, but even before we do the newspapers, I've got some of my guests in studio already. I've got Senyo Amekplenu. He is the Youth Advisory Board member and a member of the MPP communication team. And also got Mr. Richard Suma, is lead member of the Movement for Change. Good morning, guys. Good to have you.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Host.
I really like how you guys are looking today.
You too.
Yeah, very traditional and, in between there. It's the first time meeting you on the show.
It's
so
my first time meeting you.
Yeah.
I've been watching your show, Charlie. The cinema.
Thank you very much for coming this morning. We're going to get into the newspapers, see what's been captured in the headlines. And I'm going to start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper, And on the front page is the big initiative by government that has been launched. $10 billion big push agenda takes off. That's on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. And you also see Sacred Year for Asantehima begins in Kumasi. That is also there. And then a bit of correction by Gold Board has also been captured, having to do with the, said the Ghanaian Times correcting some amount of money that was handed to Gold Board, to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, also there. But then our story, the focus of our discussion today, police fires warning shot to disperse rioting at tattoo students. That has also been captured in the Ghanaian Times, and we'll get into it. And 5 dead in Wakrom Junction road crash. Wakrom Junction road crash. 5 dead. 5 people have been reported dead. Another road accident. Very unfortunate development. Well, let me come to Richard. You've got the...
Yes, I have the Accra Times with me.
Accra Times.
Accra Times. It says, don't build our party from the top. Afoko wants NPP. Start from the grassroots. Then we also have here, UK Minister pays working visit. Then we also have, I am guided by transformative vision, Minister Ablakwa. And then, be guardians of democracy, Dr. Ayine charges lawyers. Gold Board donates 5 million and 5 pickups to Kofi Bua. Kempinski Accra sponsorship of Israel Film Festival. This is what the Accra Times captures.
Well,
this morning.
Interesting. Afuku is getting very busy recently. He's been engaging the media. He's been quiet for a while, hasn't he? I think almost 10 years now. Is it more than 10 years?
Yeah, he's been quiet, and now that the opportunity presents itself, I think this is at the time that they all have to contribute to how they can rebuild the party, if they are allowed, even though there are some caveats that has been placed on them. But I wonder how that will pan out in the nearest future.
Interesting. Okay. All right, great. So let's get into the other one you've got.
So I have with me over here the Ghanaian Publisher. On the front page, we have the first one being MPP blast police over tattoo student brutality. And then the next one is Ghana faces $1 billion arbitration over Bogosuwa Prestia mine indecision. Then we also have Asiedo Nketia Fuel's 2028 bid. Then Gold Board busts smugglers and places 1 million bounty on 4 suspects. So that's what I have with me on the Ghanaian Publisher.
Asiedo Nketia is doing a tanky tour. That's quite interesting. Quite an interesting development.
I saw his itinerary yesterday, and it seems everybody is praising him. Oh, Charlie, you've started a bit too early. That tour is just something else. Well, it's going to be an interesting one.
But he's saying he's not doing it because he is running for flag bearer. He says he's doing a chairman thank you tour.
Who admits to this? Because he himself is admonishing people to concentrate on delivering on the mandate that NDC has been given now. So if he has embarked on this thank you tour, is he doing it single-handedly in the capacity as the chairman of the party, or he's doing it in collaboration with the entire national executives of the party, in consultation with the president's involvement in thank you, because the president is leading the NDC, and he has to lead a charge to thank Ghanaians, not as he doing Ketia. It's a strategy, but nobody will say. Like how Julia Deborah is also engaging in all manner of keep fit wars.
Is exercising.
He that too wasn't doing those things. He that too wasn't doing it. He wasn't.
So you think it's a strategy?
The ground. Everybody's preparing. They are preparing the ground.
But the point you made about ascending Ketia is very, I think, it's really interesting, because if he's going as the chairman of the party, he ought to go with the national executive.
The entire national apparatus.
Anyway, let's do the Insight newspaper now. I've got the Insight newspaper. And the Inside newspaper says Gold Board bust gold smuggling syndicate, 4 suspects on the run as prosecution commences. And it's got the pictures of the suspects there, and Samija Fee also there. And then you've got U.S. cuts Ghana off aid amid rising diplomatic rumpus. And thank you, Central Region. That's VIP. Thumbs up support for 2024 NDC win and promises development for them also. And then you also got Francis Davis to launch Medina Chamber of Commerce to boost local business growth, and English Lafa crowns almost celebrations with colorful Durban. Israel issues also being captured there. Israel's genocidal war in Gaza. Kempinski Hotel distanced itself from Accra Film Festival is also there. Let me just mention that Mr. Theophilus Jemega also joined us now. Mr. Theophilus, good to have you. Good morning.
Pleasure.
I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing fine.
Great.
How are you too?
I'm good. Good to see you. Good to see you. And just finally, though, I've got the graphic business. Just finally. Banks charge 5% levy on forex withdrawals. That's an interesting story, because I've seen quite a number of people raise concern about it. And so commercial banks have started enforcing a 5% levy on foreign exchange withdrawals following the new Bank of Ghana directive. This charge applies to foreign currency accounts funded through transfers or check deposits, while accounts credited with fiscal cash deposits are exempt. It said the BOG aims to tighten oversight of forex transactions, discourage speculative withdrawals, and promote cash-based deposits to stabilize the CD and protect forex reserves. So that's basically all of that has been captured here. So that's it. So Theophilus, I'm not too sure. We were just talking about ascending Ketia's move, thank you tour. Have you heard about it?
Yes, I have. Good morning to your viewers. Good morning to my colleagues here. Yes, I've seen and I've heard about the thank you tour. But I remember during the campaign, there were several prongs of campaigning. He was taking some, the president, then the candidate was on another, the vice president was on another. So if the president is doing a thank you, and he's also doing a thank you tour, there's nothing wrong with it.
Well,
too many.
But the suspicion is that he's preparing the ground for his bid for flag bearer, and some are saying this might raise concerns among others who are currently working in government, and saying, well, the national executives, you are using your position to start preparing the grounds.
I don't think it's too much of an issue to talk about, to worry about. Asedun Ketia, the national chairman, is a figure well known. If he decides to campaign, everybody knows him. I agree with you that it might be like if he's going really for the presidency, he might be taking a quick leap ahead of the others who are also still in government, the names that are coming up. But I think that the terrain is still fertile for anybody to walk in and take their fair share. I don't think that the potential 2028 candidate should be something that would distract government activity. Indeed, look at yesterday what happened, groundbreaking things that happened. Those are the things we should concentrate and talk about rather than focus on.
But we'll see. But you wouldn't be surprised if he contests, would you?
No, I won't be surprised. I mean, every NDC member who is qualified per the constitutional requirements, I'm qualified to contest as a presidential candidate. So yes. Yes. So I don't see it. I will not be surprised. Perhaps we might be surprised. Maybe he's still making the ground good for him to seek a re-election as a chairman of the party. Nobody, yes.
But I guess a quick one. He said prior to the 2024 election, they all had their separate campaign. Of course, I agree with him because I've seen the chairman in my own constituency. He came with his own entourage. But the recent tour that the president went, I noticed that every single region that the president goes to, the chairman was involved. So the question I ask is, what is so unique about this tour he's going to? Well, anyway, it's for the optics.
No, not for the optics. If you look at it, the president's own appeared to be one big one, regional-wise.
So this one is a constituency.
With what Senyo said. I also saw something that looks like an itinerary. I don't know if it's officially from him or somebody mischievous.
I mean, he was in the speaker's constituency recently, and I saw a banner. You know, that had an interesting message. You know, did you see that?
No, I saw it. I even saw an old video when he was launching his bid to be the national chairman.
That also surfaced.
That was, and
I think the same place Harun's own too has popped up. Harun's banner too has popped up.
The banners are popping up.
I think it's interesting.
Yes, it's too early, but
your race is going to be an interesting.
Very interesting, and we believe it will be full of decorum and the best candidate will come up.
We'll get into the clash that happened in Tamale, but I just want us to touch also on the Big Push project that was launched yesterday. $10 billion is what the government is looking to invest, at least for the next 4 years. It's an ambitious project. $10 billion is a lot of money, and the big question is where we're going to get $10 billion from. But if you look at the budgetary allocation for this year alone, about 10 billion Ghana cedis, which is a fraction of the $10 billion Ghana was looking to invest. But in terms of the idea, it's a laudable idea that if we get the resources that we should be able to implement. Richard?
Well, first of all, I think we have started the conversation, so let me use this opportunity to say good morning to your cherished viewers. And also to extend my warm condolences to the family of Apostle Dr. Safo Kantanka. You know, once you'll be talking about technical education and what is happening in Tamale University, we can't belittle the contribution he has made to technical and practical vocational education over the years. It is just unfortunate that no government, recent or past, never sat down with him to see how we can be able to partner with him as an individual who is putting Ghana on a very high pedestal. So I will want to say my condolences to the entire family this morning. Ghana has lost someone who's very, very great. Now, you see the issue of the Big Push. And this morning when I saw your flyer, so this is a voter caucus. And then, unfortunately for us too, the Big Push was launched in Volta region. So I think all of us sitting here will be very much happy and proud that such thing has happened in our region. At least that's taking the country's attention to Volta. And I think we want to congratulate the government for deciding to do this in the region. Even though, they've stated or listed some couple of roads that the region will be benefiting from. We still need more, but look, they say in the absence of nothing, bad is always good. So whatever they are giving us, if only it will be executed true and true, it will be in our ultimate interest. Now, to be sincere with you, since we overthrew Kwame Nkrumah as a country, our infrastructure deficit as we speak today is so huge. What we need and what we have is very limited. And if you also look at the fact that governments have been playing politics with infrastructure development over the years, Therefore, when a government constructs a little road, they end up patting themselves on the shoulder and say that we have constructed roads than any other government in the history of this country. Another also comes and is given the same opportunity. Within a few months, he will start singing the same song, telling you that there's no government that has constructed road other than them.
Yeah.
And in most cases too, we try to narrow our infrastructure development discussions on road, okay? But there are several other facets of the infrastructure development that we need, and the critical ones mainly are the health, education, industries, because we need to have a lot more state-owned enterprises or industries.
Yeah.
Because this is what you are going to do to absorb your graduates that are coming up from all the universities across the country. So, if we are talking about $10 billion investment, which is about 100 billion Ghana cedis, I recently read a report that suggests that over 59 billion or so cedis worth of infrastructural investment have been left to be deteriorating in various places spread across the entire country. So where is the cohesion? Where is the synergy? Where is the center of gravity that we are holding on to say that we initiate a project and we are ready to see it through its fulfillment and see to it that the people for which we constructed this project, they are being used by them. Because if you want to construct a project or you want to undertake a project, it's about how are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? Who is it going to benefit? What is it going to be the ultimate interest of the entire country as we are embarking on this project?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the who's, the hows, the where, and all these W and H questions need to be fully factored into the conversation.
So one of the concerns has to do with the failure of successive government to continue project.
That is my point, because if you look at the Saglami housing project, for instance, how do you tell me, and for instance, we have huge accommodation deficit. The people from police are retiring, they have no place because their salaries are so meager. So when you are in service, you can really not do much. I know teachers that as they live today, they have not been able to purchase even one plot of land because the salary is so meager and their disposable income is nothing to write home about. Therefore, they are constantly depending and waiting that until they go on retirement, then they get some little benefit to go and construct a house. But we have a project like Saglami, which is wasting. People retire from the military, they have no place. People retire from just general public service or civil service, they have nowhere to retire to at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, consistency is key, okay? And then our ability to understand the infrastructure that we are doing and which will be able to trigger into a much more enhanced development, because you don't just do things ad hoc. You must target something that when I do this, for instance, we are talking about most of the food we consume. The northern sector of this country is the breadbasket of Ghana. So I would have wished to say that, okay, we will want to connect the south to the north through a high-speed, fast-track train transport. Okay?
That's quite expensive, you know.
No, but you must take the real hard decisions. If the money we keep wasting around, can't we construct a rail network from Accra to Tamale? Because that would have solved most of your problems in terms of bridging the gap between the south and the north. Because people grow things there, and even sometimes to transport it to the south, it's a big challenge. So we must take the hard decision, we must swallow the bitter pills in order to take some drastic infrastructure development. That is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because Ethiopia does so, Kenya does so. There are some of the African countries that are connecting their major cities through fast-track train networks. You see, so these are the things that we can measure and say that when we invest much into this one, it will mitigate some other things. It will improve on economic activities. It will do A, it will do B. But then again, you talk about the big push of $10 billion, okay? And you ask a critical question, where is government going to get the $10 billion from? Now, they are doing a lot of good work with the gold board. The oil, too, we are doing a lot. I'm sure they are discovering more new oil fields. And the president assured us that he'll be taking a chunk of the money from the oil and then the gold to push it into the infrastructure project. My only concern is that there should be proper value for money. Proper value for money, because we construct a road today, and the road we spend billions of dollars, but the road doesn't last 3 years.
That's true.
So we do things wishy-washy just for the optics. But at the end of the day, we don't do proper value for money auditing.
That's very significant.
So the $10 billion that they are talking about, I know as a country, $10 billion should be a drop in the ocean for us.
Really?
Of course.
$10 billion drop in the ocean.
God has bequeathed this nation copiously with a lot of natural resources. We have been blessed. There are some countries in this world that have nothing, but at least they've been able to galvanize their people and solving their own problems.
And just making that point, it reminds me of what the Gold Board mentioned recently. Even the president indicated it at his press briefing last week, Wednesday, that since the Gold Board was, put together in the last few months, we've exported gold to the tune of $6 billion.
Of course.
So the point you make, very valid.
Of course.
$6 billion worth of gold has left the shores of the country.
If within this short period of time, with government intervention and zeroing in on this gold ball thing and seeing it as more or less like a conduit for raking it more revenue to support government infrastructure projects, then that should tell you that over the years we have lost over $100 billion.
Yes, because just in this period, say 8 months.
Of course.
$6 billion worth of gold is what we export. So like you mentioned, let's say even the last 20 years.
In the last 20 years, we have lost perhaps over $100 billion. That means that our eyes have not been much open enough. We have sat aloof, look up to the international companies to come and milk it dry, export our gold and take it away. At the end of the day, we also allowed ourselves to be controlled by these Lebanese, these Indians, these Arab Emiratis who come here and buy the gold from behind the scene and take it away. So the Gold Board intervention actually is something that we cannot write off.
Yeah, all right.
Okay?
Let me bring in Senyo briefly now. And Senyo, just before I bring you in, I just want to reiterate some of the, projects that are going to be funded by this Big Push initiative. And also to clarify, it's a $10 billion initiative for 10 years, for 5 years, but for this fiscal year, some 13.9 billion Ghana cedis is what has been allocated for 32 projects. So 13.9 billion Ghana cedis for this fiscal year, and 32 projects have been earmarked for it. I just want to reiterate some of the projects as was disclosed by the finance minister at the last budget hearing. Among them, he said the construction of a new bridge on the Oti River at Dambai, very important project. The rehabilitation of some roads in Wa, in Tumu, in Navrongo, and a few other areas. Then also in Kumasi, there are some projects that will be taking place. We've got the upgrading of Isukuma to Enum roads there. Then we also hear of the construction of Enchi Elubo Road. There's the construction of Dodowa Afenya Dowenya Road, which was part of the project that was launched yesterday by the president. We've also got some other projects like the dualization of Cape Coast Takoradi Road that has also been captured as part of the 32 project that will be happening under this Big Push. So 13.9 billion is what government has allocated for this year. And the concern some have raised, and I remember on the floor of Parliament, they made that point that assuming 13.9 billion is what is going to be allocated for the next 4 years, 13.9 billion, all right, it will still not add up to the $10 billion. That's the concern. But in terms of the core, this is a brilliant initiative.
Well, thank you very much. Allow me to say a very good morning to your good self, my colleagues, and a very good morning to your cherished viewers and the good people of the Volta region, a very proud region for that matter, and a very special greeting to the executives of the New Patriotic Party in the Volta region, particularly the commanders and our youth wing, the TESCON, and all of that in the region. Of course, one who asked if this whole Big Push program is a great initiative. I must admit that it is indeed a great initiative. But, I'm admitting that it is a great initiative because I think the governance is a going concern. And for that matter, we must first of all applaud the Nanado government that did about 13,000, stretch of roads for us, which have been a topic in the media for some time, that You see this person comes to debunk it, but the artworks are there. The evidence is there for you to know. For those who doubt it, it is to their own detriment. And coming to the issue of the big push, I must again say that kudos to the president and his team for this initiative. I am proud because my brother said that the three of us happens to come from the Volta region, and God being so good, for the first time we are seeing something good from this government coming to the Volta region. So for that matter, I am proud that such a thing is happening. Again,
you said for the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
But the built there you has.
You won't understand. You know, the NDC, we need more projects than any other, because that is their World Bank. So it is believed that if a place is called your World Bank, you should do more than necessary. But we don't see more.
I think they haven't done enough for.
I think they haven't done more enough to that region, especially their MPs. The MPs, they are just loud on social media and loud in the media. They don't do anything. I'm being honest with you. When you go to the very loud ones, when you go to their very constituencies, you attest to it that they are not doing anything.
What do you think are the major concerns of the people in the Volta region?
The major concern of the people, one is employment, one is good roads, and one is making sure that our welfare is well catered for. These are major concerns of the people. Now, if our roads are not good, if there's no employment, yet you see ministers or MPs on social media, being so loud, but when issues that are of prime importance to their own people, you don't see them talk about it, then you should be worried.
But why do you think...
The classical example is the Agavenu area where the tidal wave issue has happened. The government has cut short for some time now, and the project is not going on. I can tell you for a fact that I have been monitoring that project, and honestly speaking, the gravels or the rocks that are being used to block the sea were old rocks that were in the sea that they just brought excavators to come and drag them out. As of now, sod has been cut, but no work is going on. So I am appealing to the MP of that constituency. She has been a loud MP who was on the neck of the previous government as far as that place is concerned.
That's the Minister of Tourism.
Minister of Tourism, Honorable Abla Jifa. She's only happy in doing Accra by night, going to Chichinga zones.
But that's a bit unfair, isn't it?
Oh, no. But it is, when you go to the...
Yeah, but you say Accra by night.
Yes, that is one of the initiatives she has brought on board. Accra...
Okay, the tour of Accra.
Yes, so they go by night in their caravan or whatever.
But that's an initiative that started under your regime even. She just came to meet it.
She has introduced an initiative, and I'm only saying that it is not only sitting in Accra and visiting market centers and Chichinga zones and be saying that Accra banana. Your people are suffering. Go to them in the constituency. Make sure you are on the neck of the government. I agree with them. There's food on her table. Why would you talk? She's so full. Now, on the main issue, I think that it's a fantastic project because when you look at the areas that are being dealt with, you look at a place like the whole Petwe Road that is being rehabilitated. You look at a place like the Petwe Afiadeniba Road that is being rehabilitated. You look at the Afiadeniba Penny Road that is being rehabilitated. You look at the Penny to Akanu that is being rehabilitated.
These are roads in very bad shape, eh?
These are roads in very bad shape. The last time I used the Penny Road was 3 weeks ago. It's in a very deplorable state. And I think that it's good that government is coming in at this very moment.
Okay.
But one critical place that I'm looking at, which is not in this area, is the Agaveji zone. The Agaveji Denu is not captured. I don't know, but I pray that will be done. And also my own constituency, the Shime Road. The Shime Road has been in a deplorable state for so many years now. And I think that my government as well did not do much, but I'm appealing to this government. They should do something about it.
In very briefly, so that I can go to Tamale and speak to my colleague Martina for what happened yesterday, just to get some update on that. So, Council, you can just come in briefly on this very matter, then I can go to Tamale.
I'll crave crave your indulgence, not briefly. Just give me a bit of.
Okay, so
yes.
okay, then let me talk to Martina. Then I'll come back to
very
you.
Well, very well. I agree with you.
Great. Let me come to Martina. Martina, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Yesterday, of course, we saw the updates, very disturbing scenes at the Tamale Technical University. We saw your report also. Can you tell us exactly what accounted for the violence? I mean, it's a disturbance on campus.
Protested yesterday asking for to be at pay some levies, and they are being told that their school fees was going to be increased as well. But they say over the years they pay these monies and they do not see the outcomes. They pay and then they don't get the needed results. And so for this time, they were going to stand on their ground and show that the money paid, there is value. They list some items like sanitation. They say if you go to their washrooms, broken facilities, the stench there is so big that even if you live around that area, you will not be comfortable. They have lectures in some of these places. There are officers in some of these hostels. And so it makes it difficult for them to be able to study. They think that something should be done about it. They listed development levy. They said they paid the development levy, but they haven't seen any project. They have said this is from the development levy that we are paying. They also talked about health levy they pay. They say they pay these levies. They are supposed to undertake health screening, exercise, but that is not done yet. They pay for this. This are two of lists that they had presented yesterday. And so they went around to distribute these petitions to some chiefs in the metropolis. And when they were returning, and that's where the issue started. They blocked some major roads leading to the school to stop vehicles from coming in and going out. They burned tires, but they were controlled at the beginning. Then they moved into the campus, and then they started again. This time they put a fire in the middle, and they were dancing around the fire and then chanting. The police was called in. They came in. And from where I was standing, I didn't see the stone, but my cameraman said he saw a stone fly into where the police was. And then the police responded by pouring hot water on the students. It was within that space of time they also started firing the warning shots to try and disperse the students. But that did not deter the students at all. The students started moving closer. And so their leadership came in, were able to calm them down and also speak to the police. So the police left the campus, and then the leadership of the students led them through to, some of them had been hit by the rubber bullets that were fired. So they went to the clinic. They moved some of them to the clinic. The student leadership led the media team that had heard of the disturbance and gone to the school. To some facilities, they had shown us what they were talking about, and then they addressed us at the end. That's when that happened in the morning.
I mean, we saw some visuals of police, hitting, booting some of the, students. Can you clarify that very situation for us? I'm sure that's probably on the screen now. Do you know what happened? Why the student was being beaten in the manner that he was by a police officer?
Yes. So in their exchange with the police wanted to take some of them. And then that's the resistance we saw there. And the scuffle that went on between them, trying to pull him, the boy trying to escape from them. Among others, yes.
But what have the police been saying about all of this development?
The police issued a statement. They said there was a disturbance at the campus there. They were called in and they moved in. They were able to restore calm. And then they have stationed a police team on campus. That is what the statement of the police says. But yesterday, they held a meeting with the student body based on its state. That's management of school. What happened this morning, the meeting was inconclusive. The student leadership tell me that when they arrived at the meeting at the Mariam Hotel, they expected that the management would write. They had given them a petition. They were expecting a response written back, but it was a verbal exchange, and they thought that that was not the right thing. They have given the management time to respond to their petition, give them timelines, and present to them. And they would also look at it. If they are satisfied with it, they would go with it. But if they are not, they would continue with the dialogue. But one thing they also said is that they are going to continue presenting their petitions to various stakeholders they have earmarked, and it's part of their relentlessness to ensure that they have their issues addressed. They are telling me that one other institution they are copying is Yoko, so that Yoko would come in and have some thorough investigations of books of the school, because they believe that a lot of money is being mismanaged. They are also petitioning the education minister and other stakeholders they think have a say to ensure that they bring finality to the issues that are happening on the campus.
Calm has indeed been restored on campus as of this morning. Is everything back to normal?
Yes, everything is back to normal, and students are expected to begin lectures this morning.
Martina, thank you very much for your time this morning. That's Martina. She is a correspondent in Tamale. We're going to have to speed on what happened in the Tamale Technical University. I'm going to bring my guest in on this very development because it's worrying, and we'll get into it. But let me come to Council, because Council, you had to react to the development on the big push.
Yeah. First, my appreciation to the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and for not only giving us the Roads Minister, but also launching this project in Volta region, for which reason a number of roads in the Volta region have also been captured in this. I also want to say good morning to my fellow constituents in Hohwe constituency and all your viewers. My brother here raised an issue. I don't know how old you are. You remember Vision 2020 that was started, that was promulgated in 1995 with the hope that by 2020 we'll be somewhere. But because of lack of focus and lack of commitment on successive government, we are where we are. If all governments had been to say that, let's have a national development plan. He mentioned post Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah had a development plan. That was what was being followed. Yeah. If we ever had such a plan, we would all have been happier today than where we are. My brother also mentioned some of the roads that were not captured, but in the State of the Nation's address and in various platforms, the President mentioned that each constituency will have at least 10 kilometers of road in 2026. Yeah. So if that happens, then some of the roads that were not major roads as captured will be captured in this instance. I will only also say that the figures you were quoting, I couldn't get my head around how the 13.9 would translate into $10 billion, but
no, I was just making the point that if the government continues at this trajectory, that every year they are going to push 13.2 billion Ghana cedis into the big push.
The big push actually will have 2 billion each year. So the 10 billion that was mentioned was for a period of 5 years, and that will be captured from the oil revenue.
That's 10 billion. That's in USD, right?
Yes, it's in USD.
Dollars.
That's
in USD. In this fiscal year, it's 13.2 billion Ghana cedis that has been invested.
But so it goes beyond the big push.
Yes.
There are other things that go into it, but the big push is for 10 billion for a period of 5 years. So that's
for the big push agenda specifically, government allocated 13.2 billion. That's the point. And I was just making the point that if they should continue in that trajectory for the next at least 4 years, which government's tenure will end, it will amount to just about $4 billion.
No, 13.9 cannot amount to 4 billion.
It will amount, if you do 13.9 times 4,
would not be 4 billion.
It will be $4 billion. If you do the calculations,
that gives about 55 billion Ghana cedis.
In dollars, it's about 4 billion.
Oh, okay. You're talking about cedis and dollars. That's where we are getting confused because
because the project is $10 billion.
Yes, so I was looking at the
budgetary allocation is 13.9 billion cedis.
Oh, let's
and if
get
you do
it.
that
So
for
the
this
budget,
year,
that's for this year. For this year, yeah.
So the 13.9 you're calling is $2 billion.
No, it's not up to $2 billion.
Because $2 billion.
Okay.
Because $2 billion should give you about 20 billion Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Yes. So you were saying that in terms of
If you are
cities, we are
using
looking
10
at
cedis
that's
per-
what you were
per
reading.
rate.
So
that was why I was getting
so I was saying that if
I was looking at the dollars and you were looking at the cities. That's why I said I couldn't get my head around how the 13 times 4 will become 2 billion. In any case, one of the things we are looking at from the current government is prudent use of our resources.
Yeah.
That we should give it to the government.
Yeah.
They're trying to plug the holes where the leakages are. And sometimes some of the requests that you send to government have to be double checked before the payments are released so that they are sure that some of the excesses we saw in the past years will not be repeated this time. So let's give it to the government currently that they are making good use of our resources. If it continues this way, then it's going to be a very good thing. We'll say bye-bye to some of the roads.
Yeah.
My worry, however, as a Ghanaian, is that I wish by now we should move our roads to the concrete type of construction. No
It's
more
the
the
cost, you know.
Yes,
it's fundamentally the cost.
But look at how long the motorway had been.
Yeah, since Nkrumah's time.
Since
That's a long
Nkrumah's time. And it's only recently we have there are large stretches of the motorway that are still very good in usage. So we look at the long-term effect. Instead of, as my brother says, after 3 years, the road is washed and we come back to such a thing. It's something we need to start to think about. Indeed, our former vice president promises that we're going to have that. It never happened, but that is a discussion for another day. Maybe let me quickly jump onto the issue you have just...
you can touch on that so that I can speak to the PRO of
I think that to a large extent, crowd management by the Ghana police is a bit improving. From your reporter, it was when the police were provoked. And when that happens, the police need to defend themselves. And you give them the opportunity to say,
if you consider the visuals we saw, how the police was kicking the students, I think that clearly should be condemned. That shouldn't be a professional...
Yes, no. I am not condoning what is done. Again, if you listen to Martina very well, he also said there was a bit of resistance.
Yes.
So one of the things that the police need to do is when there is a resistance to arrest or to control, they use the reasonable force. But reasonable force has not been defined anywhere. So it is up to us to look at the visual and say, is that a reasonable
Based
force?
on the visual, that's
yes,
not reasonable.
that doesn't look like a reasonable force. However, the bigger issue is the concern of the students. And it has not started this year. I don't want to blame anybody, but it has started over the years, or it has been accumulating. And they are talking about the fact that they have paid monies, the internally generated funds of the school, is not being used properly.
Yeah.
And that is what the new administration, the new governing council for the university, must look into, to ask questions, what has been done over the years with the internally generated funds from the school. I would also like to appeal to the student leadership that now you've made your points known. You are still continuing with some of the protests.
Yeah.
I pray that they don't destroy the small infrastructure that they have on
because
campus.
they are complaining
about the
infrastructure. If you
go ahead to
they might even increase the levies,
exactly,
to fix
then it. I have confidence in the Minister of Education. Indeed, he's an MP for one of the Tamale areas. The other part is Suhini. He's also a minister for an MP for one of the Tamale areas. Indeed, the Central Tamale doesn't have an MP at the moment. And those two that I've mentioned are very proactive. So I'll urge the student leadership to also get in touch with them. I am sure that this is not lost on the Minister for Education. So I believe that something will be done in the very short term.
Let's speak, because we're just talking about the conduct of the police, especially the police officer who was seen in the visuals kicking the students, and as to whether that is, acceptable. The public relations officer of the Northern Regional Police Command is Lukman Nyondo. He's joined me, is it via Zoom or phone? Let me just, via Zoom, he joined me via Zoom, and just to disclose that he was my colleague at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Lukman, good morning.
Good morning, Zach. How are you?
I'm very good. And good to have you on the show. I mean, yesterday, some of your men were on duty to contain the disturbances that happened in Tamale. We saw the statement you released, And we saw, at least, we've got a report that calm has been restored to the area. I mean, from what you gathered as to what led to the disturbances and exchanges between the students and your officials, I mean, can you tell us how all of this started?
Well, thank you very much for having me, Zach. Yesterday, at about 9 o'clock a.m., the Northern Regional Police Command, led by DCOP, Mr. Wisdom Lavoy, had received reports that students of the Tamale Technical University had staged a demonstration against the school authorities. And so promptly, the police deployed personnel to assess the situation and to also calm tensions down. So upon arrival, we realized that the demonstrating students increasingly became aggressive towards the police, who were there to calm nerves and tensions. So apparently they started pelting stones at the personnel who were there to ascertain the veracity of the damage or otherwise of the demonstration. And so they also kept insulting the officers. But in all this, the police upheld the highest standard of professionalism by maintaining its composure. And so we didn't even retaliate, because we know that as part of our constitutional mandate, we are there to protect lives and properties, which we eventually succeeded in doing so. Because of what interest is for the police to retaliate when you are being heckled by people who are there to demonstrate? In any case, it is within the domain or right of the student to register their displeasure against the school authorities. But if you are going to do so, you must do it within the confines of the law. What does the law say? We describe the demonstration as unlawful because the police was not in the know. And so if you are going to stage a demonstration without notifying the police, it becomes criminal, because you must serve a notice to the police so that the police will prepare adequately to give you the protection that you want. And so, Zach, if you have asked, that was what happened. We went there and maintained the highest standards of professionalism. I know that in cases like this, a lot of people will be throwing narratives just to, dent the image of the police. But we are used to this. But whatever we are doing, we are saying that people must not report what didn't happen there, because myself, I was there. And I keep on saying that some of the images or the footage that you have seen is outdated. Outdated in a sense that some didn't happen there. Well, but as usual, citizen journalists.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to confirm, because the visuals rolling, and if my producer is going to help me with the visuals, at the very beginning of the visuals that are rolling on the screen, we see what has become of a major concern for most people. One of the police officers kicking a student. First of all, is this one of your officials? And are you, what do you call it? Are you aware whether this happened on the grounds? Because we can confirm this happened. This was sent to us by our reporter. It happened yesterday, but I just want to confirm, is this one of your personnel?
No, Zach, I have been in the region for some time now. I am yet to identify these men. In any case, there are footages, or the footage that we have, the command is reviewing it. If in any way it happens to be one of our men, why not? The service instruction clearly states if an officer misconducts himself, there is a punishment that will be meted out to the said officer. By, you can interdict the person. So the command is taking a critical look at the footage, and once we identify them as one of our men, why not? The command would institute the measures that will, bring discipline. But I am yet to identify these men. That is why I stated and reiterated that some of the images that you are seeing or have been shared on social media are but outdated pictures that has been, flooded on social media in order to make the police look bad in the eyes of the public.
But I mean, I'm not sure you're suggesting that this very one, which is rolling on the screen, is outdated. If it is outdated, have you seen this before? Because clearly you are indicating that you are going to verify this footage and verify if the individual involved is indeed one of your personnel. Clearly this is not an outdated one. But if you look at the individual involved, he is uniformed, well uniformed. He's got the, all the things that police personnel, and he's not just there alone. He's in the company of other police personnel. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you want to confirm. But can you confirm that what we are seeing on the screen is indeed not the best of behavior by any police official? This is not professional conduct.
Yes, Zach, I agree with you that no police officer has the right to, assault a civilian, no matter the gravity of the offense that the, said individual commit. You do not have to treat a civilian this way. And so that is why I'm saying that the police is trained to exercise a maximum form of restraint. And even there is what we call the plan. Plan is proportional. If someone, does something and you are going to, measure or equate the offense of what he has done, then you use the probability measure. And at the same time, we have legality. So legality, what the officers are doing, does it fall within the realm of the law? Certainly no. And that is why I have maintained my position or earlier stance that indeed, if these officers happens to be those coming from the Northern Regional Command, the command would definitely find a way to deal with them because we cannot allow or tolerate this. We have always been trained to, be professional. And I think that over the years, we cannot take away the professionalism that we have displayed across the nation. And sometimes I think that we also deserve credit. The fact that some of these images are disturbing, we should give some time. And I believe that at the appropriate time, we shall appraise the public with the findings that we have also made, if indeed these are our men, Zach.
Well, Lukman, thank you very much, and I wish you the very best in your role with the Tamale Police Command. Thank you very much, Lukman.
I miss our days in GID. You are doing a very good job.
Thank you very much, Lukman.
All right.
Thank you very much. All right. That's Lukman. Great. Let me just come to you, Senyo. You were nodding your head. You were concerned about the conduct of the police personnel. But, I mean, it's one too many. We saw what happened at Blackman North. Akwetia was really good, composed himself. They increased the standards. But then this very incident in Tamale sort of, it took some marks off them because you don't treat a civilian this way. He was unarmed. He wasn't attacked. It's just quite unfortunate.
Indeed, it's quite unfortunate. And I'm a technical student. I went through...
So you can relate to some of the...
Of course, I know what is happening. I was in Ho Polytechnic years back, and I have been an ex-house executive, so I understand the situation very clearly as to what they are going through. And I've been a national officer of the then Ghana National Union of Polytechnic Students before, now Ghana National Union of Technical Students. So I understand very well what my colleagues are going through in Tatu. But I don't understand the PR. What is he telling us, that the video is outdated?
He says they are going to look at it.
Yeah, they are going to look at what? I at least expected him to make such a comment, that this video is outdated. If it were to be somebody making hate speech, they'll be quick to pick up the person in a Rambo style. You see, come on. I think that he should come back in a proper manner to tell us that no,
He
this is not.
said you appraise the public.
What is he going to appraise?
After they validated.
This is a clear evidence of unprofessionalism. It is unethical, incompetence. What is he telling us?
But he says, okay, I think that's condemnable. What about the actions of the student? I mean, at a university.
No, you see, I don't know if you are abreast with the issues, but I have their petition over here. The graduate students and the SRC, they petition management. And for the record, I'm a board member of the Ghana National Union of Technical Students, the advisory board. So I'm a board member. So yesterday I had a chance to be briefed on the issue very well by the SRC president together with his other executives. So I'm very much abreast with what is happening. As I speak to you, the national executives have just arrived in Tamale. They are going to the school to, get involved in what is going on and make sure that comes down completely. But let me state on record that whatever the student did, should it even go beyond their limit? Whatever the police exhibited yesterday was unprofessional, it was a display of incompetence, it was arbitrarily a misbehavior that should be condoned, that should be condemned to the highest degrees. Why am I saying that? I'm saying that because I have noticed time and time that the police misbehavior is becoming unbecoming by virtue of the fact that the government's own approach in harassing and abusing people's rights. So it's giving them that sort of energy to be misbehaving.
How is government harassing people's rights?
We are aware of what they did to Abronya. Abronya, are you not aware of what they did to Abronya? Are you not aware of what they did to Fancy Comedy and the rest, all in the name of hate speech?
I mean, they were.
You are abusing people's rights. What is hate speech? Hate speech that won you power.
They were taken through the law.
They were taken through which law? Have you read the judgment from the judge? I am told that he has resigned. Let's not go in. That is not even the main issue. It's a red herring that I will not even.
But I just want you to touch on the substance of their petition. The substance of the concerns the students raised.
So in their petition, I forwarded a copy to your producer. So in their petition, the concerns that were raised were: one, neglect of student welfare and fiduciary duty as follows. One, medical examination fee, sanitary fee, development levies, examination funds, satellite campuses, certificates, hostel facility, ICT development levy. That is under one, the neglect of student welfare. Then you come to point 2, misuse of IGF. Then, let me read on the misuse of IGF. Student contribution form a significant portion of IGF, yet the mismatch between fees collected and services delivered suggests financial mismanagement. Then you come to point 3, proposed fee increments. Then the students are demanding that, 1, we request for government or the management body to constitute an independent investigative committee to probe allegations of neglect and financial mismanagement at TATU. 2, commission a comprehensive forensic audit of TATU's internal generated funds, including hostel revenues and student fee utilization. So when it continues, when you read it, you come in terms that, in fact, there are litany of issues that I think management should have listened to the student. Now, when it comes,
but you send the petition. You've sent the petition to Parliament.
They have sent the
and management will now receive the petition, look into it. Then you wait for the reaction.
I am coming. So first of all, the main issue is that management invited them when they raised issues of increment of certain fees, which they felt that they were not comfortable with. And that has to do with this petition. Now, when they raised the petition and presented it to management, management invited them. And when they invited them, they told them in that meeting verbally that they should put their phones away. They don't want them to bring their phones to the meeting. After those things were done, the next thing that they told them was that we can no longer heed to your call because you don't dictate to management as to what management should do. Again, management also informed them
that the fees that we are proposing, you are not a member of the board or of the committee. For that matter, we will not involve you in the determination of the fees again. And I think one critical thing that we must look at is that students who are paying fees, they are not members of the academic board as far as statute is concerned. And my check from all the schools as of yesterday evening confirms to me that except Tamale Technical University, that the SRC is on its academic board that helps in the determination of their fees. All the other universities, the students are not reps. Then the question I ask is that, how then do you come up with the fees? If you have come up with the fees, which student felt that the fees you have come up with, we are not comfortable with it because you keep charging us for development levy, you keep charging us for sanitary levy, yet our sanitary conditions are very poor. I have been to Tatu before. It's an open space. The place has not been fenced. It's so abysmal that I don't think that you would even want to allow your work to even eat at that place, because there are some sanitary areas that you go to, you even want to use your dining hall over there. But that of Tatu is so abysmal.
And let me bring Suma in.
So I am saying that for what management has done by inviting the Ghana police to act in such unprofessionalism, they will be brought to book, because come next week, Central Committee will be meeting, and I will be making a proposal that will stage a walk to the Ministry of Education if those two police officers who were booting the gentleman as if it is football that they've seen, if those two gentlemen are not brought to book, we will stage a walk to the Ministry of Education and ensure that management and those people are brought to book.
Richard, I mean, the concerns are legitimate. However, how they went about it is what some have raised questions about. The conduct of the police also, questions have been raised about it. But then, the concerns they are raising is legitimate. If I'm paying development levy and I go to the washroom is unkept, you know, the facilities are old, the whole place is in a poor shape, it's legitimate for me to raise concerns about it.
Well, first of all, to address this issue is two sides of the coin. And again, I just got a text message from someone that, I didn't say hello to them at whole central constituency. So everybody is saying warm regards to their constituents, and I haven't said so. So my warm greetings to all the people of whole central watching us this morning. It's a privilege to represent you. Well, you see, like I said, it's a two sides of the coin. Sincerely, because of how we do things as a country, where we do things out of convenience but not conviction. So we place people in position of authority and position of decision taking, and most often their interest supersedes the interest of the people they represent. That is how come that you see technical universities who are taking IGF from the students, but the students are demanding for accountability, and accountability seems not to be forthcoming. They raise other issues of increment of their fees without consultation. And don't forget that students are a key stakeholder of any school that they are running. A school without students is no school. So you cannot say that the students are not a key stakeholder. They are stakeholders. Therefore, whatever you do, you must judge up with them. And with these economic dynamics that we find ourselves in, people are really struggling. So if they struggle to pay something, at least they expect that whatever they are paying will be put into prudent or judicious use. So once it's not put into prudent or judicious use, it triggers all manner of speculations. So then again, they are talking about sanitation. Sanitation is key because these are what we call technical university. You see, Ghana as a country, I've always said that we lack direction. We lack a clear sense of purpose. If not so, a technical university should have one of the finest environments, because these are the caliber of people you are producing to feed industries. These are the caliber of people you are producing to hold your manpower base of the country. So if they are learning in very horrible environment, and they are under all these kind of strains and conditions to study, how are you going to produce the best materials to feed industries? Therefore, we should prioritize our technical and vocational education to the highest level, because in the first instance, why did we convert them from a polytechnic into a university? Once you convert them into a university, that means that the standards have to be what? Upgraded. And then again, we are in a generation where, yes, the police PRO is saying that before you can embark on any demonstration, you must write to the police. But the police should also be the know that we are in a new world era. In as much as the law states, I'm coming, in as much as the law states, but you see, the law will state that yes, you must seek permit from the police, pre-inform them of the act that you are about to embark on.
Yeah.
But because you see, we are saying that every society has what we call an elastic limit. Every situation has an elastic limit. When the students get to a limit and they cannot take it anymore, they bounce back, they revolt, they rebel. Are you getting my point? And they are seeing it across the world that students are rebelling.
As in spontaneous protest, sort of.
Yes, spontaneous protest, because the situation will trigger a rebellion activity within a twinkle of an eye. Therefore, the police must also be prepared to know that when some of these things happen, and it could happen sporadic, it could be happening in Technical University at Tamale, some happening in Volta region, some happening here, some happening there. At the end of the day, do they have the capacity to curtail it? Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
And we are also saying that if the police should have it at the back of their mind, that this day and age, with what we are classifying this new generation as Gen Zs, is happening across the world, that the Gen Zs are trying to do things in their own way. In as much as it may flout the law, but they are also looking at their own interests, because they feel that their future is being jeopardized, because they feel like already we can't pay, but we are putting more strain on us. So how are we going to afford it? Therefore, they will rebel. Because like I said, every situation, once it gets to a limit where they can no longer absorb it, they will rebel. So then again, we are talking about the professionalism of the police.
Yeah, and just before you get to the professional of the police, I just want to get some update from Huzaifa Hassan. He's the PRO of the GRASAG, and we understand he joined us on phone. I mean, so you indicated that they are going to Tamale to engage the students there. We just want to hear from him if they've arrived, what they've gotten from their engagement with the students, and if this is a concern that is being raised in other technical universities and even other universities per se. Mr. Hassan, good morning. I hope you can hear me. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Hassan. I mean, just we understand you were going to Tamale to engage your colleagues there who protested. Can you confirm if you've arrived there, and if you have and have gone ahead to engage them, what have you heard from them since yesterday's protest?
Yes, in fact, I am a resident of Tamale.
Wonderful.
And the GRASAG PRO for Tamale Technical University. So, in fact, I was part of the demonstration yesterday myself.
Wait, okay, so you are a student of the school, you were part of the protest yesterday?
Yes. I represent GRASAG. I am the PRO.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, yesterday from the start of things, we had a very peaceful demonstration. We started the demonstration with the police. We never had any encounter with them. We had a walk from the university campus to Chogo Hilltop, and then we walked back to the school. When we got to the school administration, that was where we planned to address the media as well as our colleague students. Some of our colleagues said ties are based, and then they were dancing around it as shown the footage. All of a sudden, a water vehicle driven the campus and started spewing water onto the student body, and to some extent started firing warning shots.
So I think we've seen those visuals. We've seen those visuals. But just straight to the point, though, did you inform the police you were going to hold any protest?
No, you see, the police officer,
No, did you inform the police? Did you inform the police about the protest?
Yes. The police, the district command, they were notified. They were aware.
And the police say some of your colleagues pelted stones at them.
That is where I am coming from. When we started the journey with them, we never had any problem with the police. The problem only arose at the university administration. And they caused everything. When they drove in their water cannon vehicle, they started spraying water onto students and then started firing gunshots as if the protest, the demonstration was a kind of riot. So the students also felt threatened and then started pelting stones at them. However, we told the police, leadership told the police that if this is going to continue, they cannot do anything to the students because they cannot tame the students with this kind of attitude. We ask that they move back with their water cannon vehicle, with their service personnel, with their police personnel, and then we will also take charge of our students. And when that was done, we took control of the situation. The gentleman that you saw in the footage being attacked by the police officer, that's is one of us, a graduate student, Mohammed Awad. He was being assaulted. You could see in the footage that he was not armed, and yet he was being kicked left and right. And it amazed me and shocking to hear such a police officer, PRO, telling us that this video is outdated. When in actual sense, he himself said they are yet to review these footages. So on what basis is he telling us that these footages are outdated? You see, the police must come again. This attitude cannot be continued.
Yes. Now let's come into we just want to because we just want to try and get directly into especially the concerns you raised. We've seen some of them. We've seen some of the concerns. They've been emphasized enough. But tell me, since the protest yesterday, have you gotten any feedback that suggests that the concerns you've raised are going to be addressed?
Yesterday, around 4 p.m., we were called into a meeting by management. They told us, we met at Mariam Hotel, where they told us to elaborate our concerns. But we told them that this was not just a usual meeting like we can have it. So that we have written a petition. Whatever they want to do, they should equally respond back to us. Documented. We will not take any verbal exchanges with them any longer. And then we excuse them and then we left the place. But as we speak now, we have not heard anything from management as we speak. But they told us that they were in a crunch meeting and then we'll hear from them.
Wait, management, Hussein, just a moment.
We lend on our efforts to get these issues resolved amicably.
Hussein, just a moment, if you can hold on. Management invited you to a meeting after the protest yesterday at a hotel, and there they asked you to voice the concerns you have, and you told them that you've written them on a paper
because they are copied,
you've what do you call it? Documented your concerns, and you told them to look at the concerns and get back to you. You walked out of the meeting.
No, we told them that, and they agreed that indeed they will respond in writing to us. You see, we didn't just want them to feel like it's just a normal conversation that we normally engage them in. It has gone beyond that. So in as much as we acknowledged and then we attended to the meeting, or we were at the meeting, we told them that everything that you have, please respond to us in writing.
And did you give them timeline? Did you give them timeline as to when you were expecting the response?
Oh, you see, we will only respond to whatever that they will write to us.
When? When are you expecting the response?
From today. As we speak right now, we said we are going to engage Yoko. We are sending Yoko a copy. We want all those relevant stakeholders to have a keen interest in the happenings of Tamale Technical University. The time has come for us to call for the needed change, and the time is now.
What happens? What happens if they do not heed to your concerns? What happens? What will you do?
Like I said, we will never relent. And then we will go any extra mile to get these issues resolved.
Okay.
And I would also like to put on to emphasize on this. We will never support any destruction of school property. We are not criminals, and we will never support any destruction in any form to school property. We will protect the school property. Emphasis be made on that. However, we are calling on the education minister, whom we know he can resolve this matter and make it with us. He should have interest in the heart of Tamale Technical University. We are on the focus. There is a financial disparity in the finances of the university. Let me give you a scenario. You see, we have a case called exam.
Your line is a bit unstable there. Your line is
I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just land for me in 30 seconds.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah, land for me in 30 seconds, please.
Okay. We have a component that we call examination fee. You You wouldn't believe this. They told us that something that is meant for exams, 55%, 40% of which goes into CDs, and then an amount of some percentage also goes into ESG. Can you imagine this? Something that is meant for examination purposes, and yet you want to add it, you want to increase this. When the money that you have received over the period, you said an amount of 55% of the total collection goes into other purposes, or other than the intended purpose.
Hussein, let me get this from you. Let me get this from you. At the moment, with all the levies and fees included, how much is your fees in totality?
Looking at the undergrad level, some pay as much as 3,700. The graduate school, some pay around 8,000.
Is this per semester or for the whole year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and those, the first years of the graduate school, they pay 8,000. Those in second year, those who are embarking on MPhil or MSc 2 years, they are paying 6,000 plus.
And the proposed increase is going to see these fees rise to what?
You see, what happened is that they have not even shared the document with us. They only told us some of the friends that they set in. And we that the money have collected so far. What happened to it? There was a push forward medical examination for first year, of which graduate school they pay 75 cedis. And this 75 cedis, no student has been medically examined. We ask the question, where is this money?
We'll get back into this, I'm sure. We'll get back into this. Thank you very much for making time. We'll get back into this. We'll follow this very closely because, like you said, if you're charging students 75 Ghana cedis for medical examination, and yet no student undergoes any medical examination, questions need to be asked. Where is the 75 Ghana cedis? Richard, you can land, then I'll come to.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, like I was trying to say, that the student body, they are a major stakeholder. We are not in the basic school where we have the PTAs. So at the tertiary level, it is the Student Representative Council that represents the ultimate interest of the student body. Therefore, we are asking all management staffs of any public university that they should not put their personal interest above the interest of the students. And therefore, it is always a responsibility of the student to also fight for what is their right. So if at the moment they feel that their voice is not being heard, or they are being, mistreated, or they are being abused, or they are being siphoned, they will definitely rebel. That is why I'm also calling on the police to understand that society is changing, society is evolving. It is not in every situation that you are expecting a written letter to you that we are embarking on a demonstration. They can, at all moments in time, rebel, even though it's against the law. So, what the police was doing to the student, I'll wrapping up on that. What the police was doing to the student, we may all condemn it, that it is not the best. But then again, too, we are also asking demonstrators at all points in time that they should also be mindful of their actions and inactions. Because we don't know what the gentleman did for which he was apprehended. But then again, even if you apprehend him, he wasn't, per what the video we watched, he wasn't being offensive. He wasn't refusing arrest or being whipped away. So what is the justification for trying to kick him here and there? Because the moment you start to do that, you are abusing his human or fundamental rights.
Let me bring Council in now. Council, just start with this for me. Then hopefully we can get one minute for everybody and we'll wrap up.
A few things quickly. I disagree with my colleague on the notification for the police. That is the law. This what happened is not spontaneous, so we can't go by the spontaneity.
But you say that there are instances where...
if there are instances, but it doesn't apply here. So let's get that clear. Otherwise, we encourage people to hide under spontaneity and disobey the law. And that's that's what we... He said they wrote to the police.
Modifying their way of doing things.
Secondly, is it that you got the video wrong? Because he claims he impugned your integrity to say what you are showing as well. It's not the current video, but even the guy says that it is current.
Then I asked him about it, that can he confirm if this is one of his officials? And he said they're now going to look
into it.
So and I'm wondering how you've already decided it's outdated.
Yes.
Then I draw attention
how you're going to what
our reporter was there, and this happened yesterday.
The other thing which I asked my brother Senyo, your government has been in power for past 8 years. What we are talking about had happened is an accumulation of things happening. Again, I want to find out, is it that the university, the council doesn't have a student representative on the council? That would be a bit weird, because all the university councils have student representatives on them. Now, if out of the university council we have the academic board, what had their representative been doing all this? I'm not blaming anybody, but let's get certain facts. I was part of student leadership, and I was on the university council before. So for us to have all these accumulating up to today, and we sit back today to say that they don't have the major stakeholders, Richard said, it's not on the university council or it's not on the academic board. It's a bit weird for me. I think he was making
reference to the academic.
Yes, it's very weird for me to take, because they have the university council has oversight responsibility over everything that happens in the university. Fast forward, I will urge my colleague that, look, you can dialogue. You are not, you raised an issue yesterday. They received your letters or petition yesterday. Go to the meeting. Have that discussion. After the discussion, say what we have all discussed here. Let's put it down on paper before we move on. Because there are certain things that you like to and fro discussion that you might not have written, they write back to you, they write back to you. All could be solved within a meeting. So when all that is solved in the meeting, then you say, okay, this is what we are coming to. Secretary, put this all down. Let us all append our signatures to it, even if it is in the draft form. Let's have our copy. You have your copy. Go tidy up yours, bring it back to us. We all agree this is the roadmap we are doing. But the era where we say this is what we want, and it has to go this way, it might not help us. So that is my appeal to them. And it's heartwarming for the young man to say that they trust in the Minister of Education. That's what I've mentioned earlier. And I believe that the Minister of Education, remember, he was once NUC's president. He has toured campuses, he has led us in Mobrowa demonstrations, etc., on academic user fees, which are giving birth to what we are seeing today. So I have every trust in the Minister of Education that this will be done properly.
So this will definitely come to his attention. Just finally, though, Senyo, just 1 minute, then we'll wrap up. Understand we need to wrap up now for the next segment.
I think if he says that these issues have, emanated right from our time to this time, I think I bet to differ.
I didn't say emanated.
So you said
you've been there. You also had opportunity.
When I've been there, emanated. These issues have been in since years. I have been a national officer before, and I know what I'm talking to you about. 2015, we once staged a demonstration at the Ministry of Education where the Vice President now was the then Minister of Education. I was then a national officer, so I know what I'm talking about. The issue of students having issues with their VCs, their management and all of that in the technical universities, it's something that I think that government attention has not been much keen with. Because I have suffered same before when I was in Hope Polytechnic. And when you talk about it, they will tell you that, you guys are not supposed to be on the board. You're not supposed to be on the only committee I benefited when I was in Hope Polytechnic was to be on examination malpractice committee. That was the only committee. But when it comes to academic board, where a lot of the things are discussed about students, you don't see a student rep over there. So I think that going forward, these things must be reviewed. Secondly, I am calling on the Minister of Education. I'm sure he's aware of what has happened in his backyard. He is a swift man. I'm expecting that by now he will call for a dialogue for this issue to be resolved. But if this is not done, next week there will be a central committee meeting. I will be moving a motion for us to stage a walk to the Ministry of Education, because I'm looking forward for the policeman who, incompetently displayed that, rampage or whatever stuff. I'm looking forward for him to be suspended.
The police said they will review it and act.
You see, it's not about being reviewed.
Let's call a spade a spade.
I mean, this
he
is
acted unprofessionally.
Yes,
so I am saying that if that man is not brought to book, we will stage a walk to MOE to ensure that the gentleman is brought to book.
Richard, 1 minute.
Yes, well, like I will want to conclude that it is always important to dialogue, as my senior brother is saying, that dialogue is the way forward. But then again, too, like I said, because society is evolving, the world is changing rapidly. So I'm only admonishing the police that, yes, in as much as somebody may embark on a spontaneous demonstration, which happened at the spur of the moment, without writing to you, that doesn't mean that your approach of dispelling them should be chaotic or should be more what do I say, Rambo style. It is always good that no matter how it happens, you must find a way to demonstrate professionalism in curtailing the issue. But again, like I would like to conclude to say that let us prioritize our technical education. Now that we've been able to transition them from a polytechnic to an university, government, I know that has spent over $1 billion over the years in trying to revamp technical education. I sincerely believe that the new NDC government is also very much passionate about technical and vocational education. But like I said, they are the people we are producing to feed industries. So let us make sure we train them right. And then those who are also managing the schools, don't put your personal interest above the interest of the school that you are managing, because you are there representing the state, managing this institution on our behalf. So it is always important to do what? To make sure that any money students contribute must be put into what? Judicious use for the benefit of the students that are making the school up and running.
Yes, I think I couldn't better than agree with my brother here that the police also need to change their way. And indeed, it also means that the police intelligence also has to be up. But the bottom line of all this is that the students have genuine concerns. Let the university management, the university council take this up. This can be resolved very quickly. Already we have issues up north that we are trying to deal with. We don't want this university's issue to generate into another thing. Again, let me use the platform to ask my brother, the minister, that this is your backyard. Get this fixed quickly, which the students said they have trust in him. All of us here say we have trust in him. On the police issue, I urge my brother that even God, that we said knows everything. When he entered the Garden of Eden, he still asked Adam, what did you do? So let's yes. So God knew everything. When he entered the Garden of Eden, he still questioned Adam, what did you do? He knew what he did. So much as my brother here is watching the video and say, we all know what he has done, let's allow the police to question him. What did you do? So that the natural justice will be served. Just let me learn. But the issue of Tamale Technical University, and with what Senyo has said, means there's an endemic issue across all the technical universities that need to be addressed properly, so that we will harness the reason why we set up the technical universities. Aside that, I wish all your viewers a pleasant morning.
Wonderful. Just
a second.
A second is very fast.
On the issue of the Galamsey, this morning I got a report from our Win area. I think that the issue of Galamsey is becoming one too many, that we have to deal with decisively. And you see, these things are still continuing because the president has become an obstruction to the fight for Galamsey. He has become an obstruction to the fight
we'll get into it, because if you...
So I am pleading, Mr. President, stop being an obstruction to the fight against Galamsey.
Okay, we'll get into it. Hopefully, I'm sure we'll get into it. I understand we had the NUC's president. We're trying to reach the NUC's president for some comments on this matter. I'm not sure if he is available. He's on Zoom. We understand he's on Zoom. We're going to just speak to him briefly, then we wrap up. Yadom Boache, Emmanuel. We understand he's on Zoom now. Mr. Boache, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself, please? Yeah, great. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Thank you very much for joining us briefly on this very matter. I mean, has this come to your attention, and what is your response to the development?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of correction to be made.
You're the former NUCS president, right?
Yes,
Great.
former NUCS president. Yeah, on the issue of the Tamale Technical University, I think I followed a bit of your conversation, and then some of the important issues I've been able to pick up is where people feel students are not stakeholders, and then a whole lot of things. But there's one thing I want to drum home. There's one thing I want everyone to know, that in every university, in every institution, be it primary school, be it basic school, be it senior high school, whatever that, so far as it deals with students, we should let everyone know that students are the biggest and the major stakeholders in that institution. The reason is, without the students, are you going to teach the chairs and tables, or you're going to teach the buildings? So if you don't value the cry, the complaints and calls of these students, then what else are you doing, or what else are you putting up those institutions for? Now, the concerns of these technical university students needs to be taken carefully, needs to be taken into consideration carefully. Now, their complaints, I think this is not the first time they are complaining. I've read the message, or I've read the release from the Ghana National Technical Universities Association, that is GNUT, and they've enumerated certain measures, the process, the steps they've taken, to the point that they've even reported some of the issues to a chief in the community before. And this will tell you the student didn't just get up a day to make those demonstrations and all that. Now,
but going forward though, but just going forward though, what do you think the best approach will be for students and management? You know, because the whole, what do you call it? The suggestion is that there have to be dialogue. There have to be dialogue. So what do you think the best approach could be from the student side, from management side, to enhance and encourage dialogue so that some of these concerns will be addressed as and when they come up?
No one supports distractions. No one is happy when demonstration comes. Dialogue is the only way. But it seems our leaders of late now, the only language they do understand is demonstrations. I believe our students and our colleagues did their best. They did their part with the necessary dialoguing. But let's ask ourselves, did the leaders of the institution listen to their dialogue? There have been several complaints, not only technical universities, colleges of education, universities and all those things. And these students, most often, the leaders who during their days used to demonstrate over number of fishes in a sardine can, the type of food they were being fed and all those things. They were demonstrating then. But it's unfortunate that now the few Ghanaian students demonstrating on hikes in school fees, hikes in utility bills and all those things are not right. Now, the demonstration is a civil right of every Ghanaian, and every Ghanaian student have the right to demonstrate. So we are pleading with them. They should listen to the students. Now, we condemn the act of brutalities by the police. It seems the police is gaining notoriety for all these things of late. And that's something we condemn. Demonstration is a civil right of every Ghanaian. Ghanaian students are part of the Ghanaian community. And attacking them in this manner and in this rate is something that we will not accept. This is the time for the Ministry of Education and all the higher officers to hold all those that did that accountable. Now, the good thing is the Minister of Education is a former student leader. And during their time, I know they did more than this. They stood for Ghanaian students more than this. So you can't beat and attack us simply because we stood for our rights. These things are not the right things to be done, and we can't accept it.
All right, Mr. Boakye, thank you very much for your time this morning. We have to wrap up. We understand also Mubarak Somed, he is the Public Affairs Director of Tamale Technical University. We understand he has joined us briefly but has left. We're hoping to hear from them also. It's very important we hear from the university and you know what they are going to do about the concerns that were raised by the students. We had him on, but it appears that he has left. Well, we are going to read some few messages and we draw the curtains
guys,
on.
because you should have called my mother union, Janut. The Janut president should have been called. You didn't.
The time for
PRO
the time is the one she
The PRO
That is Grasak.
Yes.
That is not Janut.
But he's a member.
Grasak is under Janut.
Yeah, but even more
You should have called the national.
Well, I understand Somed has okay, that's still Mr. Wache. But the Grasak PRO of the school is a member of Janut.
He is,
And he is even
under the union.
yes, but he
It
is
is a subset.
Yeah,
of the
but he
union.
is even-
I'm saying that you should have called the Janut president.
thankfully the board member, senior board member.
No.
Senior board member is there. And you did justice to the issue. Yes, advisory member. Senior member of
I'm
the
not
board.
taking technical investors.
Senior member of the board is here. So thankfully, okay, let me just take some messages here from this point. Let me see. So this one says, good morning, Mr. I'm surprised that during John Mahama's first 9 months in office, there was hardly any media outcry against Galamsey and no cause for the president to declare a state of emergency. Yet today, Ghana has become a fertile ground for illegal mining, with foreigners deeply involved. Our security apparatus, instead of tackling this menace, behaving like, hey, really? Let's be careful. Meanwhile, Nanado in his first term implemented FSHS, but under John Mahama, his first 9 months in office showed no concrete step towards his so-called 24-hour economy. Well, our viewers always have a way to bring their own issues into the conversation. It's still allowed. Anyway, I said, good morning. This is from Kweku Bako Jr. from Manso Mim. I'm surprised that, interesting. Is it the same person?
Yeah.
Okay, same person, because I was wondering what was happening. Okay, let me take this one. Meshach from Amasaman says, the people of Ashanti, Akim North, precisely Agogo, are very much excited for what President Mahama has done for them through the appeal by Honorable O.K. Frimpong concerning their inability to get buyers for their tomato produce. President Mahama has ordered the Education Ministry to purchase thousands of those produce, and he is thanking the president for that. Well, it's classic Prime Morning viewers. This teacher Kojo says, this government is failing already. Less than a year into its term, it's quite sad that by this time next year, the cedi will be at 15 to 16 to the dollar. Galamsey will still be raging. Inflation will have gone up and crop dues will start emerging. Some of us already know of a few, particularly at the roots. Interesting. Okay. This one says, good morning. One of the prime reasons for the need for stringent accountability measures in the rampant corruption that has plagued government institutions, for instance, the Ghanaian media frequently reports on scandals involving public officials embezzling funds or engaging in fraudulent activities. A notable case is the alleged involvement of top officials in Galamsey scandal, which uncovered illegal mining operations that severely damaged the environment. Such institutions underline the importance of implementing measures that can track disbursement. Okay, interesting. This one says, some messages here. Okay, no. This one says, good morning. It's a wait a minute. I'm beginning to believe that Ghana is gradually losing its integrity, cultural values, and dignity because of bad practice of democracy, greed, and not putting value on its citizens. There's signs on the wall that if we don't get up and reposition ourselves by thinking right and correct the wrongs, such as disrespecting one another, people in authority knowing why they are put there, and together making every effort to develop our country for our own good. Issues like Galamsey and conflict in parts of the northern region are not the way to go, but we seem not to care enough. Please, let's own Ghana and treat it with dignity and respect. Okay. This one says, okay, where we were in this country when Oliver Baka Voma was stole police car keys and flew, but the police then under President Nanado acted professionally and never touched him. Today, the police dress like they are going for peacekeeping just to escort Abronyo to court. The police brutally attack innocent students on demonstration. Ghanaians are in hot waters under President John Mahama, he says. This one says, a message for Senyo. Senyo, please, I want you to know that the MPP party members you people recruit in the past 8 years, this is the result. Please give us a break. Oh, okay, he's talking about the police officers. He says they are the people you recruited. Al-Hassan Zainu said, good morning. And Castle said, yes. Good morning, everyone. Kudos to JDM and the government for the big push project across the country. We pray that the contractors should do a good job for all of us, and those who have mandated to be checking these contractors should make sure we have value for money at the end of the day. That's very important. Musa says, what happened at Tamale Technical University is very unfortunate. From the reports coming in, it appears the police officers acted unprofessionally and their conduct was highly unethical. The Ghana Police Service must take this matter seriously, conduct a thorough investigation, and ensure that any officer found culpable are brought to justice, law enforcement. And that's what Lukman said that they would do. Gastiman says, it is so funny that the police in Ghana behave like land guards. The power struggling has already started in the NDC. Instead of focusing on their 4 years mandate, they are now on rampant campaign. The NDC is indirectly more divided than ever. I wonder how Asedin Ketia can be president of Ghana. Is more suited for general secretary and chairman. Dr. Baumia is our hope for 2028. Well, interesting. Anyway, someone said he likes your outfit, Senyo, and a few other ones there. Yeah.